Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing another African novel titled Nervous Condition. It is a novel written by Tsitsi Dangarembga, and Dangarembga is a novelist from Zimbabwe. So we are going to be looking at the background of the novel as well as the background of the novelist and the plot of the novel in detail. The novel was published in 1988 and it is a form of semi-autobiographical novel in the sense that it tells part of the life of the writer, of the novelist, Tsitsi Dangarembga. So at the time when the novel was published, Zimbabwe was still under the colonial rule, and at that time the name of Zimbabwe is called Rhodesia. It was after independence that the name was changed to Zimbabwe. So the novel was published and the story spanned from the 1960s to around 1963. Okay? So the title of the novel, according to some of the scholars, was taken from the book written by Frantz Fanon called The Wretched of the Earth, and the novel talks about the issues in the life of the narrator, which is we call Tambo. So let's discuss the plot in detail. In the beginning of the novel, Tambo's brother is called Uhambo. Uhambo is expected to return home having completed his term at the mission school which he attends. However, something happened. Uhambo does not return home. It is later learned that Uhambo died of a strange illness. Tambo does not seemingly terribly affected by the death of his brother, and is somewhat relieved that she does not have to make preparations for the brother's return and for the celebration of the brother's return, in which Tambo will be asked to kill a fowl, prepare the fowl, and make a pepper soup of it for the brother Uhambo to eat. So now Tambo is somewhat relieved of such kind of responsibility now that the brother is dead. And also the narrative then turns to Tambo thinking about the event that came before the death of her brother. Their family was very poor, lacking the money to send Tambo to school, although they managed to send Uhambo. So Tambo turned to raising and selling vegetables to earn the money on her own to pay her own school fees. So she found Uhambo had been stealing from her garden and got into a fight with Uhambo at the Sunday school when they were having Sunday school service. So the Sunday school teacher, Mr. Matimba, was the one who separated Uhambo and Tambo, because Tambo was given corn to plant and she planted the corn very well and the corn grew, and now it was time for harvest, and Uhambo was just sneaking into the farm and cutting some of the head of the corn to go and roast and eat. Meanwhile, it was meant to be sold so that Tambo can use the proceeds from the farm to pay her own school fees. But Uhambo, that her own school fees is being paid by the parent and by the uncle, now decide to be eating up the corn, and that was what caused the quarrel between them. And it was really pained to Tambo that Uhambo was taking what she was planning to use for her own school fees. So members of Tambo's extended family had the celebration for her cousin, which is called Chido and Unyasha, and their parent, which is Baba Mukuru, and his wife Meguru, who had returned from England. Chido and Unyasha were no longer able to speak in their local language called Shona. So their native tongue was so difficult for them to communicate, And Meguru, the wife of Baba Mukuru, did not want them to take part in traditional dances and other traditional activities. He just wants the children to be English in nature, in behavior, in everything, and not that they just return from England where Baba Mukuri have studied. And also, Meguru also studied and got master's degree. So he does not even want his children to be so or accustomed to the tradition and the dances of the people. Rather, he wants them to maintain their Englishness and their English lifestyle. So they did not participate in the dance. So after they finished a meal, Tambu was sent to fetch a bowl of water for each person to use to wash their own hand. You could see the kind of challenge that Tambu is passing through. So the three siblings of Baba Mukuri congratulated him on his success for graduating successfully from a university in England. And Baba Mukuru, suggested to help members of each family, at least to raise a child, to train a child from each family. And the person chosen was Uhambo. And now that Uhambo is dead, Baba Mukuru have chosen to take Tambu as the successor of Uhambo. So the school where Uhambo was going before is the same school now that Tambu will be going to. And Baba Mukuru will be spending the same amount of money which he ought to spend on Uhambo on Tambu. So Tambu was happy, though she was not happy that her brother died, but he was happy that now she has the privilege of going to school. She doesn't have to plant corn, harvest, and pay her school fees. Somebody will be paying the school fees now, and she's going to live in the city. Okay? So, the narrative returned to the present time and find Tambu elated by life at her aunt and uncle's home. Now, they have returned to Baba Mukuru's house in the city. And the house is located very close to the mission school where Uhambo was going before, which Tambu will be attending. And Tambu was so welcome, was given a warm welcome by Unyasa, the daughter of Baba Mukuri and Meguri. And he was even provided with new clothes. So, and as the time approaches, every preparation was being made for Tambu to start the term successfully. So Tambu takes to her study very well and develop a friendship with her cousin Unyasa, who is the daughter of Baba Mukuri. Tambu observed that Unyasa and her father, which is Baba Mukuri, always argue. They argue a lot. They even fight so many times. And wondered why an educated person like Baba Mukuri, who studied in England, will be raising his hand to build a female child. So he was so disturbed that, okay, just the way Uhambo was tormenting her at home, now another male, which is Baba Mukuri, is tormenting her own daughter, which is a female. So there is something about patriarchality in the novel in which dealing with women in a way that is abusive was considered normal. Okay? So when the school term ends, Tambu and Unyasa attend a dance along with the white missionaries' children. Tambu is unsure, is not very sure about being part of the celebration. So late in the evening, Unyasa was still outside learning a new dance with one of the boys who she was dating. But Tambu and others have returned home. So her father, which is the father of Unyasa, accuses Unyasa of acting a sordid manner, and a fight broke out between them, which is Unyasa and her father, Baba Mukuri. So Unyasa hit her father, who declared he will kill Unyasa because assaulting someone's parent is considered a taboo. So although in subsequent week, Tambu was so worried and tried to caution Unyasa for not to be fighting with her father again. And Unyasa also felt so guilty for hitting her father. So we saw that the time ends, and during the vacation time between school terms, the family returned to the village again, where the extended family await them. So Baba Mukuri is expected to do the cleaning and the cooking. Sorry, not Baba Mukuri, Meguri, because he's the oldest wife. He is expected to do the cleaning and cooking due to her position as the senior wife in the family. Also at the homestead, to the surprise of Baba Mukuri, is Lucia, the sister of Tambu's mother, and a relative of Baba Mukuri named Taksure. So both of them were living in the family, and the shocking thing is that Lucia is already pregnant for Taksure. And Baba Mukuri was not so comfortable with such kind of arrangement. And Lucia and Taksure, they were expecting a child together. So leading to the family meeting, because the family have to take a decision now. What can they really do now that these two people are living together and they are not married? So they are allowed to stay because they already got Lucia already got pregnant. And Baba Mukuri's next addresses to his brother, which is Jeremiah, the father of Tambu, and he makes sure that both Lucia and Taksure get married in a legitimate Christian marriage. So they do that, and they wish that both of them will become married soon. So as time moves on, Tambu continued to work hard at her education and has the opportunity to attend Sacred Heart School because he sat for scholarship and she was able to pass well. So she was given scholarship. Then she go to Sacred Heart to further her studies at that school. So the school is run by nuns, Catholic nuns. So Tambu comes to realize that there is really nothing left for her at the homestead and grows apart from her mother, just like Uhambo refuses to go to the village during the break because he sees nothing so special in the village. So we saw that Untambu developed a strong bond with Unyasa, and through her relationship with her cousin Unyasa, Tambu learned that the way to progress in life is to constantly question everything around person and to challenge the limitations set by others. What are some of the limitations set by others in the novel? Because the place of women are being put in the local and in the kitchen. And now, the limitation also set is that a male child is supposed to go to school. If there is not enough money, the female child should stay at home and get married. Those are limitations set that Tambu was contending with and interrogating and questioning. So we saw that Tambu leaves for the convent school, and in the school, she sees rooms with other girls, which are mostly Africans, and she also took her study very serious there. And there is something about Untambu. Untambu fears she is succumbing to the negative colonial influence that made Unyasa mentally ill, because Unyasa was behaving as if she had some psychiatrical challenge, some mental challenge, and she believes that she will interrogate and question things and get things right at the right time. So Tambu does not let the influence of, though colonial influence has already taken toll on her, the study she's getting is Western education, is colonial education. But she made up her mind that though she will begin to question things, at the same time, she is not going to desert her family just like Uhambo tries to do by refusing to return to village when the term was over. So At the end of the novel, her determination is to interrogate things and also to propagate the gospel of the gay child by ensuring that even in the village, female children are given the opportunity to go to school, and their parents responsible for their study, paying the school fees. Not only that, parents in the homestead, in the village, are paying the school fees of only female children. They will as well now be paying for not only paying for male children, they will as well be paying for female children as well. But that was the intention and things that Tambu was trying to interrogate and question and make sure that the limitation is removed so that both male and female are considered equal children. All right? So, this is the end of the plot of the novel. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you get notified when the new video on the characters and characterization is uploaded. Thank you and have a great day. Okay.